talk a little bit about Ori Bukuru and Ori Ire again, and the aspect or about being able to transform Ori Bukuru into Ori Ire. Okay, Ori
Yeah,
Ire.
yeah. Like I said initially, I said that Orisha philosophy does not operate on fatalism. So, in other words, we are not a fatalistic movement that says once you have Oriburuku, you have to die with Oriburuku. I am saying that we have what we call the power of Iparada. Iparada means transformation. There are several transformational rituals in Orisha that can transform Oriburuku to Orirere. Oriburuku simply means when a person selects a bad head. What do I mean by bad head? A destiny that makes you unlucky, poor, diseased at all times, and that makes a person to suffer. That is Oriburuku. Once we see a person constantly undergoing sufferings, torture, and kind of bad luck, evil luck for several years, or through his or her life, we say such a person has Oriburuku. But truly, we need to divine to know. We need to check to know. So if we know, there are transformational rituals called the Iparada that can transform Oriburuku to Orirere. Orirere means the good head, the head that makes you to become successful, famous, rich, and knowledgeable, healthy, and anything you can think about goodness. So there are rituals to transform Oriburuku to Orirere. And I said, through right action, if we, have the right character, the right action, do the right rituals, the right prayers, the right ebos, etutu, and performing the right action, also noble actions, we can transform Oriburuku to become Orirere. And I also said that even if you are destined with Orirere, if you always perform the wrong action, do the wrong things, say the wrong things, you don't do the right prayers, there is a high tendency that the Orirere can also be transformed to Oriburuku. Then we also have those who have the ability of transforming Orirere to Oriburuku and Oriburuku to Orirere. People like the Yamis, they have the power to transform both. Either way, either positive, negative, or negative to positive. That is why when we are doing Ibori, we also pay homage to them. Because when you use the Obi to touch the head of the person you are doing Ibori, we say Obi ni biku, Obi ni barun, Obi la fi bomo araya boju peke, omo araya boju peke are the Yamis. We must pay homage to them because on earth they are part of the ultimate Ashe, ultimate power of reality, and we need to pay homage to them in most rituals that we do. And so that is basically what Orirere is. Orirere means a good head, a head that gives you goodness. Oriburuku simply means the head that brings misfortune constantly, not just once. Because on earth, everyone is subject to certain misfortune. But what we are saying is that the misfortune must not be continuous. When it becomes continuous, it becomes Oriburuku.
Okay.
That is the main point.
Exactly. There was another question, but before we get to that question, Baba, I wanted to ask you in terms of within the tradition of the history in Nigeria and working with Orisha, perpetuating Orisha, the concept of the Ori and how we choose our head before we come to earth. Is it sometimes that in the way that the society looks now, we have so many people with mental illness? You know, we have lots and lots and lots of people facing mental illness. I don't know if it has anything to do with Ori, but if you have some knowledge about how did mental illness come to earth, of course, in Ori, but it would seem that I know in Senegal they have ceremonies for people who go crazy. You know, it's a lot of work. So is that type of work, was that done long time ago in Nigeria? And how is that handled today when people have either mental illness, schizophrenia, what are some of the other ones? Well, Alzheimer's, I don't really consider that a mental illness. I call that loss of memory. If anybody can name some other mental illnesses, that would be helpful to me, because I just want to touch base on that. And is there any type of work, bipolar, thank you, people who are bipolar, they switch this away, they switch that away. Someone said that if you're not talking, please mute your mic. So if you're in the backstage, and if you want to come up on the panel, just type in the Facebook chat and I will. Okay, so here's a few. We have depression. We have bipolarism, multiple personality disorder. So we as Orisha devotees may come across people who have this. And number one, I know that many people will say, hey, they need to go to the doctor. But is there anything in your knowledge that within this tradition they deal with that in Yoruba land? That's what I want to know.
Of course, there are many things we do. Yes. Those are symptoms of, it can be symptoms of Oriburuku. That's one. It could also be symptoms of magic being done against a person. That's two. It could, not in all cases, that's why I'm saying could. I'm not saying all cases have to be magic. But we are looking at, here we look at various possibilities. I said, one, it could be a symptom of Oriburuku. Two, it could be symptom of magic done by another person or group of people to the person suffering such. It could be that the person does not sleep well, with the physical cause. Maybe doesn't have enough sleep. It could also be that the person is troubled physically, maybe lack of money. It could be health related, physical health related. Okay. It could also be that it could be a trouble from the yamis to a person, to off balance a person. So in all these cases, we have how to treat it. Remember, when we are learning Orisha here, we also learn a lot of magic. which is very important. If you look at the Odus of Enjilogun or the Odus of Ifa, of the Babalawo, you find a lot of medicines there. They teach you as you're learning Okono, you learn so much medicine. As you're learning Ejioko, you learn so much medicine. As you're learning Ogunda, you learn so much medicine on different aspects of life. So we have several. If it's about loss of memory, we have medicines to improve the memory. If it's madness, we have medicines that can calm. After the ebo, after the ibori and the weri, we have medicines we administer as soap, as things they drink, herbs they use that makes such people to sleep and relax. And when it is done constantly, when these medicines and these herbs are done simultaneously, the person in most cases becomes better. Of course, that is not to remove the medical aspect. We also ask such people to take, medical help. As they're taking medical help, we also apply medicines, herbs, ibori to assist them. Yeah, there are several. There's a seed. There is a fruit called aridon. We use it a lot. That aridon is prescribed in Onwani and Ejila, being what we refer to as hot odus, Onwani and Ejila. The aridon is prescribed there as medicine to make people sleep, as medicine for people experiencing mental illness. So they teach us how to prepare such medicine. So there are various types of medicines that we apply after Ibori and after Iweri. We apply those medicines. Sometimes those medicines are taken, sometimes they are rubbed on the body externally. And so we have such medicines for those type.
Okay. Thank you. That was a lot. Someone said that also that maybe they have Egbe issues. One thought came to my mind is that family lineages too. When you talk about, let's go.
Of course, they could have Egbe issues. That's where divination comes in. Yes, they could actually have Egbe issues,
Mhm.
but not in all cases. But some
Right,
cases, it's possible.
right. So in
When we do
2020,
divination, we actually check all possibilities
all right,
to see where, whether it's physical illness, whether it's spiritual, whether it's from an attack, whether it's from Egbe, whether it's from something they ought to do. Sometimes people have illnesses from their ancestors, or from, let me say, from their ancestry. Maybe in their family, there were things their forefathers were doing that the person no longer does, and
ah, yeah. So he just paused a minute.
that could lead to, or
Okay, okay, here he comes. All right, are you here, Baba? Can you hear us? Okay,
I
so
can hear you. Yeah.
yeah, so you mentioned it could be something back in their family lineage, because possibly they work with um, the spiritual things that they were doing, the offerings that they needed to make. We don't know which one of those maybe be what it could be, but we have a vast amount of people on this earth now, way more than possibly than 400 years ago. So we know that Orisha is older than 400 years. We know that Orisha is older than, in terms of through the studies of in African studies, we know the history that the Yoruba tradition is very rich. It can go back at least 1,000, 2,000 years. We have some more people who have entered the panel. I'm going to bring up, and who is this first? Let me see who this is. Let me, okay, so I'm going to bring Baba Bruce down. Taiwo. We have someone new. We also have, well, Oshun Kemi says she's at work. So, Taiwo, is there something you want to ask? Taiwo, you're on the live stream. If you don't want to ask anything, I'll just pull you back down and we will continue. Nope. Okay. You have to unmute yourself if you want to say something. All right. So you mentioned that in 2023, we have a big ordeal about everyday life. What last words can you give to our viewers? And guys, this live stream will be on my YouTube channel, Wind of Prosperity. This is something that was very dear to me, and I'm happy to do it. We will have more guest panelists. We will, of course, have Baba Solomon back on the page. He does classes through Ekbe Imodei. Can you say the name, Baba, because I don't say it correct? The place where you...
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. What name is the classes?
egbeimodoyeorisha.com. That is www.egbeimodoyeorisha.com. However, I'm also presently teaching an Erin class with Ori Institute. Presently, I'm teaching an Erin class with Ori Institute. So for anybody who wants to join my present Erin class, we also have a WhatsApp group where we take questions and answers. I'm doing one with Ori Institute right now.
Right. So Oyaki Dan said that Ifa is 5,000 years. I did know that the Yoruba culture did date back some 3,000 something years. So she's saying Ifa is 5,000 years.
I don't know, but this is what I will say, yeah. I have a different perspective from my studies and research.
Yeah.
Some people, even Professor Wande Abimbola, many others have stated that Orisha came first before the Babalawos came. I don't know how true it is, but I don't even want to talk on that because that might be speculative. But let me say this. As a Nigerian, Orisha or the knowledge might have predated what people know as the Yorubas today. And I have a reason for saying that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Might have predated the people. Because if you look at Nigeria, people come from several places to dwell or domicile in the places where they are. And Orisha has been around for thousands and thousands of years that we can't even date it. Because Beyond the Yorubas, if you go to Edo, you find knowledge of Orisha there. If you go among the Igbira, several tribes. If you go to West Africa, if you go to Ghana, you still find the knowledge. The name might be different. At times, the name of the deity might be different, but they have almost the same principle. You find it there. At times, they even share the same name. Like what the Yorubas call Ifa. If you go to Delta in Nigeria, some areas of Delta, they call Efa. If you go to Igbo land, you call Afa. Then if you talk about Ogun, certain deities are worshipped across line. Even in Nigeria, some tribes worship Ogun, also worship Shango as Esango. Like the Edo people call Shango Esango. And like that, we have Olokun in Delta, in Edo, in Yoruba land, we have Olokun there. And so these things have been on for thousands of years. And even it might go further beyond this location we call Nigeria. But even as far as we are concerned in Nigeria, it has been around for thousands of years. 5,000 might be small, considering that you need to look at certain things within the Orisha circle. Let me say this. There was an archaeological excavation in Nigeria around the 1930s. This archaeological excavation, when it was dated scientifically with the carbon-14 data, they found out that in a place called Nok, close to the north of Nigeria, around Kaduna, Middle Belt, Kaduna, Jos, people have been living there for over 50,000 years. They found artifacts. So 5,000 years might be an underestimation of the date. But like we say, Atelewo Labala are many to call, which means that when we were born, we found the lines on our fingers, but we don't know who wrote it or how it came to be. That is how I think Orisha is. Trying to date, the Europeans have tried to date, but their dating is not correct and shouldn't be taken as absolute. It is highly speculative.
Yes. Yes. I love to hear the history of traditions out of Africa, period, all across. We don't want the traditions to die out, because I truly not only believe but know that what we do as spiritual people, it keeps the world moving. It keeps things livable.
Yeah, things evolve. Things do evolve. I'm a Hindu tantric priest. You know, for over almost 30 years now, I'm a priest of Hindu Tantra. And if you look at Hinduism, the evolution of Hinduism, you will find books like the Bhagavad Gita, written 5,000 years ago, like the Vedas are older. But even within the Hindu tradition, the spirituality evolves. When a new age comes, they look at an old philosophy and quote it in newness. In Hinduism, there's what we call the pre-Vedic deities, or devas or devatas. You have Rudra, you have Shiva, Paramashiva, okay? You have Kali, you have Durga. So those are pre. Then in the last 5,000 years, you come to see the Vishnu, evolution of the Vishnu deities. So you see that in all tradition, whether it's the Hindu tradition, the African tradition, there has been evolution over time.
Yes, absolutely. So if anyone else has a question, because I've asked a lot of questions, Baba, are you ready to get your rest now?
You can ask me questions. I'm here. I love questions and I love answering.
Yes, he loves questions. So, of the people in the back room, backstage with us, please, if you would like to ask a question, or we're going to go on to something else. We have been live for 1 hour and 16 minutes, which is not too bad. Yeah, that is a long time. Someone said to me, keep it an hour, keep it an hour. You want to keep people's attention, but people want to learn. What do you propose? I'm asking this. What do you propose that people understand the most about propitiating or being a devotee to Orisha, specifically in United States? Specifically in United States. Overall, what do you say?
Is that a question to me? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think it's great. Orisha is growing in the United States.
It's been growing.
Yes, it's growing in the United States, which is good. There's of recent, we have initially when Orisha came mainly through the Cuban Lukumi system to United States, as I was made to understand. Then later, Isheshe came. But at the initial point, there was so much tension. But right now, I think the tension is easing off, cooling off. There's a lot of interaction between Isheshe and Lukumi. We are all finding a common ground, exchanging knowledge, cross-fertilizing knowledge, which is great. And we are all advancing together, both the Lukumis and we, the Isheshe people, which I think is great. There's a lot of cooperation. However, I would like to say that one aspect that I have seen also is that sometimes people get initiated quickly, they don't learn enough before they become teachers. And I see a lot in the United States. And so Orisha takes time to learn. So people should spend more time learning with their teachers. Also, I will say that for Americans,
Okay, let's give it a sec for line back up.
or being in stated America, they should try and find teachers that speak English. One. Also try and find teachers that could teach them. It's not everybody that is a teacher. There are some people they can only initiate. They are very good in initiation. After initiation, nothing is taught. This tradition is not only about initiation. This tradition is about learning. Initiation is just one part. It's just an entry. Initiation is an entry for you to learn. But I think that in America, some of the people there think that once you are initiated, you become a Babalorisha or a Yalorisha, or you become, once you do Itefa, you become a Babalawo. No, it doesn't go like that. Here, you need to study a minimum of 10 years, sometimes 15 years, sometimes even 20 years studying after your Idoshu or your Itefa. You understand what I'm saying? Doesn't mean you do Idoji today, you become an Iyalorisha, Babalorisha. Takes time and there are so many steps you need to learn. So that is what I think is a bit lacking. People do initiation today, they become Babalorisha after a year. Doesn't work like that. Takes a lot of hard work and study. The real deal is the study. The initiation is just an aspect, which is good, great. But once you are initiated and you have no knowledge, then you can't function as a priest. Of course, you can be initiated without having to be a priest. Priesthood is a calling. You can be a medical doctor and you get initiated for different reasons into Obatala, issue, or whatever. It helps you. It's okay. You can be an architect, it's okay. You can be in the military, it's okay. But if you say you want to be a priest, you want to function as a priest, a Babalorisha or an Iyalorisha, you must undergo proper tutelage for many years. And that is the secret. That's the only thing I like to say.
Yes, I appreciate that, Baba. So we had one person here who she's not initiated. Her name is Ovetta Joy Jordan. She said, "Do I daily pour coconut water on my head?" But I put this answer in the chat and said coconut water is excellent for the head. All things need to be used in moderation. So it's in the United States or in anywhere. It's not just here. Sometimes we learn about something and we become very habitual with it, or we become very what is the word obsessed. No, we become very I'm gonna do this every day. And I want to say to her, because I know her, is that when you're doing things for yourself, that's good. You're supposed to do things, excessive. You're supposed to do things for yourself. You don't have to be initiated to clean your body. Nobody can tell you cannot brush your teeth, right? Nobody cannot
Right.
tell you. No one can't tell you to clean your house spiritually at that. But there are some things spiritually that we pray we have someone else to do for us, because we have to sit in silence in that moment to allow someone else's uh, array or their magic, if you want to call it, or their expertise to work for us. So for people who are not initiated, don't become totally no, it's not excessive, obsessed. Even for Iyalorisha, Babalorisha, you could become obsessed, right? You want to do this and you want to get a reading every month. Come on. I mean, there are people who have experienced that. But for working for yourself, doing what's best for yourself, you should do that. So if you feel like you need to put coconut water on your head every day to repeat, I would say cool water, omitutu, is something that you can put on your head every day. Right? Every day.
Right.
Because you do so anyway.
Yes.
Learning how to connect with your Ori. It's like almost establishing a new relationship with yourself. Because sometimes within the tradition of Orisha, or not in the tradition of Orisha, that spiritual place by which we come from, or that place that the Alabawaye, right, Baba?
Yeah.
That helps to usher us in here, whether we believe it from that type of story or not. I know that we come here to visit. I don't like to say I believe in something all the time. I do like to know. It's like the knowing. But also in that Odu, Okanran, is it Okanran or Okanran?
Yes. Yes.
It
Yes.
talks
Okoron.
about, is that the Odu that says you can't you can't know God, or you don't you will never know everything about God. And so we have this obsessiveness about knowing God instead of being comfortable and appreciative what the universe brings to us. But yes, we must learn, but to become obsessed and then to become a tyrant behind it, I think is useless because you're not helping people if you become obsessed, judgmental, um, as well as stunt people from growing because your way, in a sense, may be best for you. But did you really sit down and think about what would be good for that person? So we just have to have a balance. And this is what Oloya Speak to have this live stream is about having dialogue, talking. And we've been on here for an hour and 27 minutes. If you are tired, I have someone that's speaking. I'm going to bring them up. He's talking. There we go, my Baba Alagaju.
Okay, listening to everything I caught prior to coming on and after coming on, the focus for everyone, everybody wants a practice, Orisha, Buddhism, this, that, and the other. Guess what? Baba stated, you have Ori. Sit down, be still. Listen to what your Ori is telling you. Listen to what it is saying to you so you can move forward for yourself. Like, what is it saying? Be still and know. Messages come to you for your own salvation, period. Everyone is an extension of Oludumare. Everybody, God,
Yes.
so everybody, so you got it in you. So bring it out. What is that song? Bring it out, bring it out. Okay, come on, let's go. You look within, it will lead you to the place you need to be for you in this incarnation, whether it be Orisha, anything. It will take you to where you need to be, but you need to sit down with you, and I'm a hot-headed person, so I got a lot of nerve. I'm telling you now. I'm on the path of everybody. I need to sit down and go within. I'm preaching for me as well. Those moments where you're still and something comes to you, that's real. It's not fake. When you feel that in your gut, when you feel it in your being, oh, that's it. Not the one that says go hurt somebody. That's something else. But sit, be still. Your answers will come to you. And I'm the last person to tell anybody to be patient. I'm still working on mine. But be patient. You'll get your messages. You will save yourself. Just like your body, if something happens, it begins to heal itself through feeling the pain or whatever. It says, okay, this is a moment where I need to be still or I need to attend to this. So that's something everyone should keep in the forefront of their mind. It will happen for you. Everyone is a blessed child, even the ones that we think are out of their mind. They are. For instance, autistic children are on another spectrum. We need to catch up. They're on another spectrum. We need to study that and learn. So Ori will guide you, everyone. I've talked too much. I'm going to get off the phone.
No, you haven't talked too much. That's the
No,
first.
that's it.
I appreciate it. I appreciate your words of wisdom, Baba. Always.
Yes.
Always.
Blessing. Where did Baba go? What happened?
He might have hit something. He'll come back. He might have hit something. It seems like he went like this and he touched something. So we'll wait a few more seconds and let me bring up, I think he's coming back. Let me bring up a few people. Of course they do. They're in the back room. Here we go. My daughter just asked me, do they want to be brought up? Oh, Baba Bruce, he done turned off his face and everything.
I'm good. I
Yeah.
said enough. Odu Senior, speak, preach.
No, just
Yeah.
Diddy, can you hear me?
Yes.
Just ditto on what you had said, my brother. Being quiet and being still, and knowing the first person that you need to get to know is yourself. Once you know yourself and have faith and trust in what you have in your Ori, because your Ori is not going to lead you wrong. Your Ori, when you get a reading and the Oriente or is asking questions, or the Ia Baba is asking questions on what needs to be done, as Baba said before, when they're finding out what it is that you need in the Igbos, yes or no. When it comes no, it's because your Ori is not accepting that for you. That is not for you. When it is correct, the things that you need, and your Ori agrees this is what you need, that's when you get the Igbo, the correct Igbo. So, yes, sit quietly, get within yourself, have faith in what you have, and keep it moving. So,
And besides, it took 9 months for you to get here. Some of y'all, anyway.
Yes. Yes. It did take
mhm.
9 months. Some people
Time,
may 10.
patience. Hmm.
Yeah, libations. Did you say libations, Ia?
Libations and patience
Okay, libations and
and
patience
prayer.
and prayer. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go down this list a little bit further for the class, and I want to ask you this question. What does this mean? Okay, wait a minute. I see. 1 second, Baba. I got to go down. Okay. So, there's and I know you covered this in class, but at what point might one offer, and I want clarity on this just for myself, Epo Pupa, Epo to Ori. What could be happening that one, is it, you would just basically, you're not actually putting, smearing, pouring Epo on the head. Is it just touching here with the Epo? Touching here?
You don't need to pour epo on the head or smear it on the head. All you need to do is just touch it and mark your forehead with it, or a bit after your forehead, just with your fingers.
Yes.
We use the longest finger, just touch the epo, use it to touch your forehead, make like a mark a bit above your forehead. The epo pupa is something to sweeten life. You know, it's used for cooking. And we
Yes.
say take over one ọbẹ̀ ìgbésí ayé ọbẹ̀ máa ń dùn. It's used to sweeten one's life. Just like we use epo pupa, we use honey. Honey also sweetens one's life. We also use sugar because sugar sweetens one's life. We also use sweets like chocolates, things that are sweet. We also use what we traditionally call adun. Adun is something made locally, but it's sweet. So all those things, along with epo pupa, is used once in a while to sweeten one's life, bring blessings, to make life sweet.
Yes. Okay. I do appreciate that. And also just to clarify, I asked that question because some people or someone out there is pouring apple on someone's head and don't understand.
We don't do like that here. Why? That's very funny.
So
How do you, it's like smearing. Very funny. Really.
I haven't done it. No, I haven't done it.
See the fingers we use. Look at the finger. The longest finger is what we use in touching the epo. Then you smear here like this. When you put the honey to, you touch.
Yes.
You know, normally, if you had an ileori, you do it on your ileori. But most people nowadays don't have ileori. So they do it on the head, but not pouring epo pupa on the head. You just do it to just a little bit.
Okay. So before we go, Baba, there's one last question, and because it just popped right back up, and I wanted to go to it. Was Iponri, or you say the back of the neck?
Yes, that's where, yes, it is located. That is the place where the ori inu and the ori ode meet.
So
Where they meet.
this is Ori Akoko. Ori Akoko.
Okay, yeah.
The physical head. What is the Yoruba name? Akoko or
People use so many names. They use ori ode. You can use ori ode, the outer head. Ori inu, the inner head. Then you have Ipori, which is the point at the Ipako, here, where the Ori Inu and the Ori Ode is said to have met or said to meet.
Okay. So, with the Ipori.
That also, you will know, let me say something. You will know that Eshu is Lord of the Crossroad in Orisha. We all are aware. So you see that once it meets at the Ipako, is Eshu Ipako. There's an issue that controls that place.
Yes.
So when we are doing Ibori, we touch that place and ask the issue that resides there not to spoil our Ebo. Remember I talked about Onibode. That is where Onibode also resides. You understand?
Repeat the last part.
Yes.
You know that when I was talking, when you started asking me questions, Ori, I talk about going to Onibode, which is a kind of issue, to seek permission to come to the earth.
Oh, Onibode is a kind of issue.
Yes.
Okay.
Onibode simply means like a gate man, like a custom, somebody at the border Igbo Day is border. That somebody, like, if immigration, let me say immigration, if you are coming to the United States or Nigeria or any country, you get to the immigration before they allow you to come in. They check your passport or whatever, and it's okay, you can come in. Do you understand?
Yes.
So Onibode is that issue, like an immigration officer in the heavens that gives you permission to come to the earth. That gives everybody permission to come to the earth. Now this Onibode also reside at Ipako, the place where the Orinu and the Oriode meet. That is what we call Eshu Ipako. And so when we are doing Ibori, those are one of the points we touch with the kola nut or the coconut or with the items. And we ask the issue that reside there not to allow our prayer to the Ori to get spoiled. We also ask for permission for the prayers to be answered, just like we did in the heavens, in the Orun, before we got to the earth.
Right. Yeah.
What's that?
I don't know. But yeah, somebody was muted. That's what it was. Okay, so Omo Ode and Onibode. I know within the class specifically you talked about Ebo Ori or Ibori can be done at any time of the day. But at the same time, the best time is early in the morning, or specifically, I like at nighttime because you're not going anywhere because you want to rest.
Can be done late at night where you are not going anywhere, or early in the morning.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that. So if anybody else has anything.
But it doesn't mean that it can't be done anytime. It could actually be done. Because sometimes you do divination and it's in the afternoon and the person need to get the bori done. And maybe the Odu says, get the bori done now. So you don't have to, maybe it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You don't have to say, okay, we have to wait till the night. So it can also be done anytime. No hard rules though.
Right. I agree. So, Baba.
David, I can see you. David, are you there? David Sosa, are you there?
Yeah, David is here. He didn't hit the link yet. David, come
David, you didn't say hi to me.
David Sosa. That's a phone vibrating because folks ain't muted themselves. He wants you to come. Okay, so he had a question, and we're going to finish off with this because I believe this is going to be a full answer. But he wanted to ask a question about Oya concerning other Orisha, and I don't know what specifically he wants to ask, but will you please hit the link and ask the question? Because at this time, I am going to go eat some food, so I'm going to get on, or I can put my avatar on and eat my food. So, David, do you want to ask your question? Yavani is here. Yamaya is coming. I'm going to put the link in one more time. There we go. All right. So I want to ask you this. while he's deciding if he's going to come up or not, yeah, hit the link because he wants to talk to you. But this is a question. Baba Jimmy is still here. The Olo, yeah, he don't took his face down and everything. He's looking all beautiful with his Oya self. This is Olo Ya Speak. And for in the book I was reading, the research of Judith Gleason, and I was reading about some of the stories they were um, giving to her about Oya when she crossed the Niger River to go and be in Oyo to be with Shango. And it was talking about the difficult time that Oya had with people because of, number one, where she came from, her status, and the people there being worried about her presence being there. So with the Odu, Okanran, I believe in one of our classes, you spoke about that relationships in Okanran, and you talked about working with Oya and Shango for people who are struggling with what do you call who's going to be in charge and having problems in their marriage, that if Okanran appears, you can propitiate Oya and Shango. So do you remember that, Baba? And can you talk a little bit about Oya and Shango in Okanran?
Yeah, in Okoron, there was Okoron shows difficulty for Shogo in trying to get Oya. It was quite difficult, because Oya was a very strong woman, very powerful woman, and Shango too was a very powerful man. And oftentimes when they started, talking to each other, when they became friends before they became lovers, in between discussions, they used to have a lot of heated arguments. And then when these arguments become heated, they will disperse. But Shango, seeing the beauty of Oya and also seeing a strong woman that he wants to make as his wife, he had to seek a divination from Kogu Konsa about how to get Oya as a wife. And this divination was made, and ebos were prescribed for Shango, and took a while. Shango made the ebos, and after some months, Oya finally agreed. First of all, what happened after the ebo was that Oya started coming down for Shango and seeing Shango as his man, and Shango was able to marry Oya. So in that, once we cast Okoron, we always
Let me see. I might have. Okay, so he's coming.
tell kind of everybody that will come to the household. However, the relationship between Shango and Oya was, how will I describe it? Always maybe tight today, cool today, hot tomorrow, cool today, hot tomorrow. because both of them were Orisha Popa, they were hot, or Orisha Gbigbona.